I
don't know. Maybe you look at the Gersais here. I think they actually change it. I'm pretty sure I saw the Shita mixes it up a little bit. Vimhevi Puzzle. And if you brought a mincha from the new crop before you brought the Omer's Puzzle. Now, very interesting halacha. For korbanos, minchas that you bring in the Beis Hamikdash, that means it's a special heter of Shtei Alechem which comes 50 days later on Shavuos. Vimhevi, kosher. But if you brought it, then it's still kosher. What are we talking about? The 14th and the 15th. Ava b'shisha asar, vimhevi, kosher. Right? Why is it kosher on the 16th? It's mashma over here because just Heir Mizrach. The fact that it was Heir Mizrach. And not what? And not because of Eimah Chusar Zman. How's the mashma? Maybe it's because of Eimah Chusar Zman. Maybe because of the first spar that we're saying. That there's no concept of Muktim and Muchar, Eimah Chusar Zman, but Boy Bayoy. Elamai, because the Gemara slugged that up. So bring me a raya from the Gemara slung it up. What do you bring me a raya from this brisa? How does this brisa prove it any more than what we said until now? Yeah, Rish Lakish says it because it says over here, Ei Meviyim, and it's not on the 14th and 15th. So this is something that they deal with. Fine. Now look in the parentheses.
The etzem din of menachos and bikurim, you're not supposed to bring before the Shtei Alechem or dafka on that day. What's the price say?
Yeah, from the new crop, you shouldn't go.
You have to wait 50 days.
Yeah.
But why?
For anything from Mizbech, you have to wait until Shavuos.
And there's no menachos until.
No, they bring it from the old, But anything from the new crop, you have to wait.
So the Ma'aseh the Omer is marked for Klal Yisrael, and the Shtei Alechem is marked for the Mizbech.
Right. Exactly. Right. Look in the parentheses, just as I was curious here. It says Vikashili Levikim Mechus Zman. I thought that this lashon is mamish, not a lashon of a Gemara. Vikashili. So I looked it up. There is another 2 times in Shas that an Amora says, but he says like Amora is talking. He says Amar this and this Vikashili. Over here, it just doesn't fit in. You see that it's some Rishon or somebody that put a gun on the side. Vikashili Levikim Mechus Zman, and Mamela. It comes out. Take it out completely. Fine. That's the end of the Gesugya. Now, so that's Shita number 2 was that the mincha, the omer, comes to be matir. If you do it shaloi lishma, it's kosher, but you have to bring another one. Now comes the third Shita. V'Rava Amar. Minchas ha'omish k'motzah shalei lishma ksheira. Not only is it kosher if you did shalei lishma, v'shireh necholim ve'enot tzricha minchas ha'omer acheres latira. You don't need to bring a second omer. Why? Rava says you need. There's 3 tanaim here. It's the 3 W's: who, what, and where. She'ein machshava moyeles elo b'mi shero'u la'avodah. It has to be somebody that's royal avodah. In other words, if somebody that's not royal avodah, somebody that has, like the Gemara is going to explain, a kind that's not royal avodah cannot do pigul. Ubedaber royal avodah. It has to be the carbon that you're bringing has to be royal avodah, which the Gemara is going to explain. Ubemakom royal avodah. And you have to have a mizbeach. If the mizbeach is out of commission for a couple of hours, like we learned, if it has a little nick, it's possible. And the kohen thought about a pigul at that time. There's no pigul. You can just continue doing the avodah as if nothing happened once the mizbeach comes online. What does it mean? If a kohen has a mum, then there's no pigul. As Taisvis, if the kohen is a mum, then it's puzzle anyways. Says Taisvis, you're right. It's puzzle anyways, but it's not pigul. Pigul is karas. It's a different concept. So this is very interesting. This is the point that we want. It has to be something that's royal avodah. Minchas ha'omer, says the Gemara, the leichazio, it's not roy, the chidushu. Explains Rashi. What's going on here? That ha'omer is the only mincha really that comes from something else called barley. not from wheat. From the fact that the Torah said it's barley, you see it's in a different category by itself. There's one other thing that comes from barley. Oh, soita. Says Rashi, that's a different. It's ground differently. It's geras. It's a little bit thicker. It's
Coarse.
It's coarse. So memela,
Minchas ha'omer is more coarse.
what's geras?
Yours is ground better.
Not ground
Yeah, but
flour.
doesn't he say that the soita is geras?
No, minchas ha'omer.
Oh yeah, you're right. The shaloim and geras. You're right. Sorry. The shaloim and geras. Correct. Okay.
10 minutes.
Depends according to Ruin's wife, 10 minutes. She made a special bakasha. We should finish 5 to 8. We'll see. All right. Okay, so since it's a chiddush, you can't bring it anywhere else. You can't do anything else with it. So memela what? Says Rava, the minchas ha'omer that I did, shaloi lishma, is kosher because the loy lishma doesn't work here because it's not something that's roy la'avodah. And memela, when the kohen had a machshava of loy lishma, we ignore his machshava because it's a chiddush. Ubemakom haroy
Why isn't
la'avodah?
it roy la'avodah?
Because it's a chiddush. It's only good for this thing alone and for nothing else. Like we explained, if the Mizbeach has a pgam at that time that he was thinking about the bad machshava of pigul, the pigul is no good. It's not a good pigul. Ton Rabbanon. In the second pasuk in Vayikra, it says the type of karbonos min abokar im oila karbonim min abokar min abehema, and if you look in Rashi, each one min atzayin, it comes this one min. The word min comes to exclude whatever it is, reveh nirva or avodah zara b'chulu. The third pasuk in Vayikra repeats itself and says min abokar. You should bring the oil from bakar. Oh, says the Gemara, I need a special limud, and this is a whole sugi we're going to go into tomorrow, all the way to the Mishnah. Why do I need the word min bakar to teach us that a treifa is no good for the mizbeach? Now why? Now pay attention to this kavachomer because we're going to have it 10 times at least. We have a very simple kavachomer. A balmum, if an animal has some sort of mum, right? Its ear is split, whatever. A mum that you can't bring on the mizbeach, but a human being could consume it. But it's also for the mizbeach and mutter for a person. Very pashut, right? If a balmum, you're allowed to eat whatever you want. You're allowed to shech the balmum, but you can't put it on the mizbeach. So a treifa that you can never eat, so certainly it should be, according to the Stibler, it should be disgusting for the mizbeach, it should be mos, but forget that. It's just a blank kavachomer.
So what do we need a pasuk for?
Why do I need a pasuk? And that's the whole sugi. Why do I need a pasuk? No, it's not such a good kavachomer. I have something called chayla v'dam that are usher for a human to consume, but you put it on the mizbeach. That's not a good kasha now kavachomer. We still have a kavachomer. Why? Because chayla and dam come from an animal that the whole animal is mutter. Just the dam is also for the person. But a treifa, the whole thing is also. Milika. What? What are you looking? What are you reading? That's in the parentheses. Not by you. Yeah, for me it's in the parentheses. Let's learn it. Milika dechiyav shekula isur v'asur lehedyu d'muteres l'gavoya. You're telling me, okay, but it comes from an animal that the whole animal is mutter and the blood is asur, so I'll give you something that the whole thing is asur. An animal that you did malika to, a bird that you did malika to, the whole thing is asur. It's asur to a regular person, to a hedyoid, u'muteres l'gavoya. So memela maybe treifa also the same thing. What do you give me a kavachomer? So memela I do need a pasuk. Mala malika sheken kedusha so isarta, and over here there's parentheses all the way, 4 lines. So you have the parentheses. It's a tremendous kasha. The Gemara says Malika is very different. Malika, until now, the bird was 100% mutter. It's just as you did the action and you made it kaddish, takadosh baruch hu, that made the isser for everybody else. There's no inherent isser in itself. Mashenkin treifa, it itself is awesome. Now, these two words, vim and shafta. And if you're going to have a pircha to my gavachomer, again, what's the gavachomer? If a balmum is mutter to a person, but it's also in the mizbeach, so certainly treifa, which is also to a person, certainly should be also the mizbeach. Vim and shafta, and if you have a teretz, I don't know what the teretz is, and that's what the Gemara is going to go on step by step to figure out what this teretz is. Vim and shafta. But if you have a teretz, I'm going to say kishuoimer min habakar, and that's why I need a pasuk min habakar, because I have some sort of teretz that slugs out my kavachomer. If I have no kavachomer, I need min habakar, and that's why Chaim didn't show up today. Kishuoimer min habakar lemata shein tam aloimer lohoitzisa treifa. So the min habakar comes to exclude a treifa. Ma im hishafta. What could possibly be the pircha on the kavachomer? Simin. I don't know what the simin is. Figure it out. Rekiach mar ado l'shishay. Omar Rav, I have a great proof from Omer. I'm not allowed to eat this new crop, but the mizbeach is allowed to eat it. It accomplishes something special, but a treifa doesn't accomplish anything. So Mela is different. Says the Gemara, yeah, but I have a case of a omer that doesn't accomplish anything. B'shvius. On Shemitah, there's no new crop, but you bring the omer, and it didn't accomplish anything yet. The mizbeach is allowed to eat it, and you're not allowed to eat it. So maybe treif also.
What, b'shvius, what?
B'shvius. It doesn't accomplish anything. You tell me the chumrah of omer is because it does something that a treifa doesn't do. A treifa has zero accomplishment. You shech the treifa and nothing. It's just a treifa.
Shvius is mitzius that there's no new crop?
Yeah, no, says the Gemara. Shvius nami shekein mater svichim b'shvius. There is a new crop, like Noam's Maisa. The guy had a thing on his a sack of kernels on his shoulder, and then he had a little rib, and it's going all over the field. But like we had once in the Gemara, I forgot where it was, maybe Bavasra or somewhere, that every crop, every field has a certain percentage of other stuff growing in there, anyways. But you have, like, from the kernels, as the wheat grows, kernels, I guess, just plop down on the ground and they go in by themselves and they sow themselves, and all of a sudden you have new crop coming up. It goes like Rebbe Kiva. New crops, no matter what, you're not allowed to eat anything, because Rebbe Kiva has a major kasha that says in the pasuk, if you don't seed and the chulu, it's mashma. He has a kasha. He says teretz means you're not allowed to eat anything, even if it came up by itself. It does accomplish something. In America, in Chutz La'aretz, it accomplishes a lot. Okay, but nevertheless, Omer is different than a treifa because it's matter itself. So even if you have a problem with Shemitah, let's say you'd be over on Shemitah, but you wouldn't be over on Chodesh, because at least it came and it did something for itself. It accomplished that it itself is mutter. So Mela, treifa is different. According to your svara that you're just saying, then maybe you should put a treifa on the mizbeach, and it itself should become mutter.
What does that mean?
If according to what you're saying, that a omer is matter itself,
Yeah.
so put a treifa should be matter itself.
The Torah didn't say you can't be makriv an omer. It just doesn't help for shvius. Or omer itself, it helps. A treifa.
You mean that's the group of what the Torah is telling us?
You can't be makriv a treifa.
Shekem mitzvah b'kach. That's exactly what the Torah is saying. The Gemara says. El parachachi malam mitzvah omer shekem mitzvah b'kach. That is the mitzvah. I'm not saying that's what the Gemara is answering, but the omer is telling us. The Torah says this is how you do it, and there's no other way to do it. But masha'enkim by treifa, there's another way to do it. Bring a good animal. Rish Lakish Omar, so this could be a good pircha maybe. Rish Lakish Omar mishum de'ikel lemeimar mefatim p'toros yichiyah. A person who does his own ketores in his house, she'asur lehedyoid umutar legavaya, it would be also for a person to make his own ketores, but it would be mutar HaKadosh Baruch Hu to make. It would be also for a person to make his own ketores, but it would be mutar for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to make ketores. So the Gemara says, "Mefatim gavru." It doesn't really make sense. The lashon here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to make ketores. Ella, what he meant to say is pitum ketores yichil. The actual ketores, she'asur lehedyoid umutar legavaya. It's when you make ketores yourself. It's also for the individual, but it's mutar for the mizbeach. So you see that so treifa could be the same thing. It would be also for individual, but mutar for mizbeach. What's your kal v'chomer? There's no other way to get out of it. That's the only way to do it. But by a treifa, there's a way to do it. You could bring another carbon. You're allowed to bring a carbon on Shabbos only for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for carbon tamid. I fixed it. Yesterday I didn't see shady. Okay.
Wait, so what's the kasha from Shabbos?
You see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will take your carbon, even though the individual is also in that carbon. So treifa also. Individual is also in the treifa, but maybe HaKadosh Baruch Hu will take the treifa. This Shabbos is different because you're allowed to do Mila for an individual. Mila is not for an individual. Mila mitzvah. Elo Mala Shabbos became mitzvahs v'gav. There's no other way to bring the carbon. That's the mitzvah. But treifa, bring the normal carbon. Ravada Omar Bishum Dekila Meimar Klaim Yichichu Shasur Lehedyoid Umutar Legavaya. It's mutar. It's also for individual, but it's mutar legavaya.
Tzitzis. What about tzitzis?
Oh, to tzitzis, as the Gemara says, Malachim Shekin Hodim Meklam Mitzvah Even tzitzis. Oh, the tzitzis Sarach Hed you do mitzvah. Ela Malachim Shemitzvah Sevika. That's the only way to do it. Mashenking treifa, you can bring another carbon. Have a great day. Okay, so we did a pshara. 2 minutes after 5:2.
That's why you need a puzzle.
That's why.